back, and in this video let's go over here to the left, shall we, and have a look at what all these are down here. Okay, up here are my favourites. So these are places that I want to go as soon as I come onto my home page. Yep, these are things that I want to see as soon as I come on. These are actually news feeds and groups, okay, and I'll run through what that means in a second. Let's just run down here first. So here's my pages, okay, so I can click here and I can see all my pages that I currently admin for, and I can go on and I can go straight through to my page and see what's happening over at my page, okay, and these are the kind of notifications, messages, things like that have been going on over at my page. So that's my pages. Down here are my apps. I can click on here for all of the applications that I regularly use. Okay, so what have I been using? When have I been using them? I can go and I can have a look down here and go and grab any app that I've been using. Down here are my groups. Okay, so I can click on more then and I can go and see all my groups that I am a member of. And it's just taking a moment to connect to my group. Just give it 1 second. I'm still getting the little wheel that's going round. So these are all my groups that have come up. These are groups that people have added me to, not necessarily groups that I desperately want to be a part of, but they're groups that people have added me to, and of course I can go in and I can edit my groups and decide whether I want notifications and all of that kind of stuff there. And then last but not least, I'm going to go through, these are my lists. Okay, now these are lists that I create, okay, and I can put people and pages in my lists. And this is a very, very cool function. This means that you can completely run your own newsfeed. So let me explain what I mean by that. Here's the main newsfeed, okay? This is the main newsfeed that's trundling down through my screen. Okay, now what if I actually don't want to see posts from half of these people? What if I don't know who half of these people are, and they talk about stuff that maybe isn't so much as interest to me. I really just want updates from people who I know are talking about things that really are interest to me, or maybe I just want to see my family posts, or maybe I just want to see some close friends posts, or maybe I just want to see some posts from the Social Networking Academy members, okay? I can completely and utterly organise my newsfeed by creating lists. So let me explain. If I go to Joe Barnes Recommends, this is a list of people that I enjoy seeing their content. Okay, so I've got Fan Page Engine there, I've got Stephen Esser in there, my good friend Corey Shanes, Sahel Khan, I've got Zed Shah in there, David Foster, Anthony Robbins, I'm Keith Everett, my good friend Keith Everett. So it's people that I really enjoy listening to. I enjoy their posts, I look forward to what they've got to say, and I want to engage with. Okay, so I've created a list called Joe Barnes Recommends, okay, and that's my list of all of these people. So let me show you how we do this. We go down into lists and we click on more, okay, and I can just go and create a list. So let's create a list, and I'm going to call it Test 1, okay, and create the list. There we go. Now what I can do is go and add friends to this list, okay, so I'm going to click on add friends, and then I can now go through my friends and decide who I want to be in my list Test 1. But it's not just friends, I could actually decide on pages as well. So I could go through here, let's have a look and see. I could go through here and I could say, right, let's go and find a couple. I want my friend Keith to be in my list, okay. I want my, oops, hold on a second, I've just go back down to Test 1. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, let's add a friend. I can go over here to add friends. I could say I want my friend Kathy Brown to be in my list. It's just got to come up. Give it 1 second to think about it. There we go. So I could say I want Kathy Brown in my list. I could say I want Paul McCarthy in my list. I could say I want Chris Farrell in my list. I could say I want Maggie in my list. I could say I want Carolyn Ivan in my list. Do you see what I mean? So I'm now adding all of these people, and I can say they're the people that I want to see stuff from. Okay? They're the people that I want to have a look at their updates. So what I then do is, rather than have them sitting within my lists down here, I want to be able to click onto Facebook and have them immediately up here in my favourites, so that I can just click on and see that list as soon as I log in. So I come down here to Test 1, I click on this little button over here, okay, and I click add to favorites. That then takes test one up here into my favorites section, okay, and so when I log on to Facebook, it comes here over to my home page, and I can literally just go and click on test one, and boom, that's going to bring up my news feed of people that I want to hear from. Okay, so I can click on Joe Barnes Recommends and see all the people that I want to hear from. Let me show you something else. Let me go down back into lists, and I'm going to click more, and I'm going to create a list, okay, and I'm going to call it Fave Pages, okay, and create that list. Then I'm going to click on Add Friends, and I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when you go to your friends, if you go all the way to the bottom, then you'll find I've got that many friends, it's got to take it all the way past the A's, past the B's, past the C's. Just give it a second. Goodness me. Takes a little bit of organising this. Let me get all the way to the bottom. Past the H's, past the J's. What comes after J? K. Come on. Maybe if I do that, that'll be a bit quicker. No, it's got to still load them all. Hold on a second. Let me just pause while I get to the bottom. Guys, I always like to leave my little mistakes in, just in case you go and make the same thing. I went all the way to the bottom because pages used to be right at the bottom of your friends lists, yeah? And guess what? For those of you who were watching the video shouting at me going, Joe, look at the left-hand side. Over here, pages. Dun, dun, dun. Facebook have made it really easy for us now. There's actually over here friends, pages, subscriptions. I'll go through for subscriptions in a minute. So now we can click on pages, and guess what? Up comes all our pages. Okay, so now we can actually go through and we can say, yeah, you know, I want all Facebook in my list, and I can go down and I can just grab, I can say I want Anthony Robbins in my list, I can say I want Carolyn Ivan-Air in my list, etc. Okay, and then just click done, and that is going to give me a list now of fave pages. So now all of a sudden I'm getting updates from my favourite pages. Yeah, and if I want favourite pages to be up here in my favourites, what do? I simply click and add to favourites, and boom, now favourite pages is up in my favourites section. So you see how you can now, so I can go back to the main news feed, I could have a look at my Joe Barnes Recommends, I could go back and have a look at my test one, whatever I decide to call it. I can have a look at my favourite pages. I can go and see what my family is up to. I can click onto one of the groups that's one of my favourite groups. Do you see? So you can keep all your stuff up here in your favourites, and you can manage your newsfeed all by lists. I think that is such a great feature, really good feature. Now, last but not least, because I know we're running really over time here on this video, let me just tell you what subscriptions are. Okay, your subscriptions are people that you have gone and subscribed to. Okay, so when you go and subscribe, you know I showed you the subscribe feature on my wall. Here's the subscribe feature. That's the people that have subscribed to me. And if I click down here, okay, and go to subscriptions, these are the people that I have subscribed to. Okay, so I can now go into my home, into my news feed, and I can go down and click on subscriptions, and that's going to show me all the people that I have subscribed to, yeah, and show me their posts. Okay, and I can obviously go and put that in my favorites as well if I want to. All right, and it also suggests other people to subscribe to if I want to. Okay, so that is the let's just have a quick look. That's the news feed, that's the favorites pages and what's going on over here, that's the ticker bar. This is just an indication of people who are poking you, events, birthdays, etc., and of course the adverts. Okay, so that's that for now. What I'd like to do in the next video is just quickly run through messages and events as well, and just have a look at those. Then we're going to head over to this button here, and we're going to start going through your account settings and your privacy settings. Okay, so I will see you on the next video.